Once upon a time, deep in a forest, lived a poor woodcutter with his wife and two children, Hansel and Gretel. A terrible famine swept the land, and one night, the woodcutter's wife, their stepmother, had a dreadful idea. She told her husband they had to leave the children in the forest, or they would all starve. The woodcutter protested, but she wouldn't listen. Hansel, who had overheard everything, comforted his little sister. "Don't worry, Gretel," he whispered. "I have a plan." The next morning, as they walked into the woods, Hansel secretly dropped shiny white pebbles from his pocket, leaving a trail to guide them home. Just as their stepmother had planned, she and their father left them by a fire and never returned. But when the moon rose high in the sky, the pebbles glittered, and Hansel and Gretel followed the path all the way back home. Their father was overjoyed, but their stepmother was furious. Soon, the famine grew worse. Again, she insisted they take the children deeper into the forest. This time, the door was locked, and Hansel couldn't gather any pebbles. He had to use a small piece of bread he was given, dropping crumbs along the way. But alas, the birds of the forest ate every last crumb. Lost and alone, Hansel and Gretel wandered for 3 days. Just when they were about to give up, they stumbled upon the most amazing sight, a cottage made entirely of gingerbread, cake, and candy. Starving, they began to nibble on the delicious house. Suddenly, the door creaked open, and a sweet old woman appeared. "Oh, you poor children," she said, "come inside. No harm will befall you." But this was no kind old woman. She was a wicked witch who lured children in to eat them. She locked Hansel in a cage to fatten him up and forced Gretel to do all the housework. Every day, the witch would feel Hansel's finger to see if he was plump enough. But clever Hansel held out a small bone instead, and the witch, with her poor eyesight, thought he was still too thin. Finally, the witch grew impatient. She fired up the oven and told Gretel to check if it was hot enough, planning to push her in. But Gretel, sensing the danger, pretended she didn't know how. "Silly girl," the witch grumbled. "Like this." As the witch leaned in to show her, Gretel gave her a mighty shove, sending her tumbling into the hot oven, and slammed the door shut. Gretel freed Hansel, and they discovered the witch's house was filled with pearls and precious stones. They filled their pockets and, after a long journey, finally found their way back home. Their wicked stepmother was gone, and their father, who had missed them terribly, welcomed them with open arms. With the witch's treasure, they lived happily ever after, never knowing hunger again. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more classic fairy tales.